Funguy foodies, welcome to my show and welcome to my kitchen. Yes, Funguy's kitchen. Today I'm going to create something similar to what's called a deluxe pasta salad, but this is my take on it, and I'm going to call it a deluxe strawberry pasta salad. The reason for that is I'm not a huge fan of vinegar and oil, but I love vinaigrette. Hard to explain, there's a difference. So what we're going to use strawberry balsamic vinaigrette salad dressing in this dish. Whole different world. So here's what you need. You need cherry tomatoes, or I'm using the super sweet tomato medley, different colors, which is cool. A can of olives, the salad dressing, one pepper, any color. Green happened to be on sale, so I bought the green. One small jar of diced pimentos, a block of provolone. I'm going with the smoked provolone on this one. And this is a Johnsonville cracked black pepper smoked beef sausage. This is a beef sausage. You can use pepperoni, but I want to use the beef sausage on this. And of course your tri-colored rotini. So, to save a little bit of time, I already had the water boiling before we started. So get your water boiling, make sure you get your salt in your water to begin with. The prep work doesn't take all that long. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump these right in here. Should have gotten the spoon out for me. Stirring spoon, here we go. Give it a good stir so they don't stick on the bottom of the pan. Okay, and we're gonna set the timer for 9 minutes. 9 minutes is tender. I want it tender because if you make it too al dente, it ends up absorbing all the salad dressing and makes the noodles totally soggy. So if they're already tender, they don't absorb as much. At least that's the theory I'm going with. Okay, so what we need to do right off the bat is take the diced pimentos, open the jar, and then drain it. Don't need any, these things are really small, so there we go. Put them in the bottom of the bowl. Pretty simple. Then we're going to take the can of olives, which I should have opened since it was already in the try to save time thing. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. I like this can opener a lot better than the old-fashioned can openers, and I'll show you why in just a moment. It's pretty cool. The lid comes off the top instead of the middle. No sharp edges. And of course, drain the olives. Okay. Oh, hey, let's see if there's somebody. Oh, no, that's the home line. I don't need to worry about that. That would be for my wife. I'm a little bit behind schedule today. I bought a new camera because we're having so much trouble with the old camera. This one up here is a new camera. Hopefully it's going to work out well. So while we're letting the olives dry just a little bit, I'm gonna open up the sausage. It's okay if you break the sausage because we're going to be chopping it up anyway. Oop. So let's pull this out. There we go. Okay. So, cut it in half like this. Then cut it in half again so you've quartered it. Okay. And cut it in chunks. Now the nice part about this sausage is it's pre-cooked. You don't want raw sausage in here because you're not cooking the salad. The only thing you're cooking is the noodles. Okay. And it's easier to cut this when it's kind of straight. So let's try this one. Bloop. Cut it into the quarters. And then make it into small chunks. As you can see, this is not difficult. Squish this down. Oh, this one I didn't get a good cut on because it was bent. I'm going to cut it here. Obviously, do it whichever way works for you. There we go. And one more piece. This piece is mostly straight, so it should go pretty easy. All right, let's stir the noodles again. I went with an oversized pot. I like doing that. It keeps the noodles from sticking together. All right, let's get this a little quartered better. There we go. And bend it this way. Perfect. Now, I forgot to do the whole Piggly Wiggly thing. I got Piggy right behind me, so we'll do him a little bit later. I'm doing this show. It won't come out till after Thanksgiving, but this is 2 days before Thanksgiving. I'm trying to get caught up. I got way behind schedule on my cooking. All right, now we're going to cut the tomatoes. Now, all you have to do is cut these in half. That's it. And I mean half lengthwise, not widthwise. See? Halves. Pretty simple. This medley is really awesome because it gives you multiple flavors. I realize that they're all going to taste like tomatoes, folks. That's true. But believe it or not, the different tomatoes have slightly different flavors. This is pretty easy. It's kind of nice that these came in at this time of year. I'm sure that they create these specifically for the holiday season. It says it's from San Antonio, Texas. How awesome is that? So a lot of times in the wintertime, we end up getting a lot of stuff from Mexico, Brazil. Those are actually the two biggies. You know, obviously, I'm sure we get some from other places, but Chile, yeah, I remember seeing some stuff from Chile once. I don't understand how they can ship it here from that far away for any kind of, profit or at a cost that makes any kind of sense. Oops. These little round ones I probably didn't have to cut, but because they're so small, but the cutting it makes more sense. Okay. This is coming out really good. Let's stir the noodles again. Oh, this oversized pot is really making a difference. They are not sticking at all. We're already down to 2.5 minutes on the noodles, so I probably could have prepped some more of this stuff earlier. This is the first time I've ever made this. I know if you guys are watching the show regularly, we're trying to possibly make a fail. I don't see that happening on this. This does not look hard. What I did is I took a standard deluxe pasta recipe from a friend of mine who used to make these for a deli. And since it was vinegar and oil, I decided to upgrade it to the vinaigrette. And I decided to go with the medley tomatoes. And I'm doing a smoked provolone instead of a regular provolone. Actually, I'm sorry, I did a smoked provolone instead of a Parmesan. She usually uses Parmesan. So, okay, that's good. Now, olives. Guess what we're going to do with the olives? Same thing, cut them in half. Now, you can buy olives sliced. It would save you some time. The difference is the sliced olives are probably like 4 slices per instead of just half and half. The half and half is pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit. You'll see something kind of funny in just a moment. Well, I guess it's not really funny, but look, that one fell off the mat. Now it's gone. I love black olives. A couple years ago, I started liking green olives. I used to never really care for them. I'd eat one, that was sufficient. since I don't drink, I never had martinis, which of course come with olives. But I used to take one giant green olive, suck the pimento out of it, and then eat the olive, and then I switched back to black right away during the holidays. But obviously, my taste have changed as I've gotten older, and it's worked out pretty good. Our timer's going to go off here momentarily, which is okay because we need the noodles to cool down a little bit anyway before we mix everything together. So this should work out pretty good. Oops, there it goes. And of course, grab my gloves. Now the nice thing is I've already got the strainer right here in the sink. So I'll pour the noodles into the strainer. Oop. Poof, we just got a face full of steam. All right, we're gonna let those sit there while we finish doing this. So I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. In our show, What Happens to the World Today, we did 2 Thanksgiving shows because one came out right before it and the other one's coming out right after it. So you'll find out that I did a genuine positivity message about Thanksgiving. So when you're done watching this show, look under the More tab and you'll see what happened to the world today. I would highly recommend, if you don't have time to sit there and watch a 45-minute show, to listen to the podcast instead, because you can do the podcast while you're doing other things. The other advantage is, if you hear something like we're talking about, pictures that we're putting up on our YouTube show, if it's something that interests you, you could look at how far you are along in the show. Then when you go to the YouTube show, all you have to do is fast forward, drag the thing over there that's virtually instantaneous to go to the part that you want to see. Again, that saves you from watching a 45-minute video of 2 talking heads. Oh, look, another one. Love these things. Okay, I'm going to tip the juice off into the sink. There we go. And we're going to do the pepper. Now, under normal circumstances, you never, ever cut a vegetable with a knife that cut meat first. The thing is, this meat was 100% pre-cooked, so it didn't matter. So for those of you who are, semi-pro or even pro and you're watching the show and you saw me do that, that's why I didn't worry about it, because everything here is pre-cooked. But yeah, it's normally a really, really, really big no-no to cut meat on the same cutting board and with the same knife as you cut vegetables. Raw meat, that is. Because that is one of the fastest ways to get people sick. But everything here is pre-cooked, so that makes it really easy. Okay. Now, you can cut these whatever size you want to your personal taste. Normally, you want them fairly small because, it's a pasta salad, not a vegetable salad. So what I'm thinking is like this size is really a good size. That's a little bit too fat. I like these thinner pieces, so we're going to go like this. I'm doing about a 1/2 inch piece, which should be perfect. I just noticed that there's a slight bad spot in the middle of this. It's not really a bad spot, it's where the seed thing was growing. So we're gonna pull those out. But look at this, that's a really, really good size. Okay. And of course we'll do the same to the other side. So, hopefully you guys are in the Christmas spirit, since technically after Black Friday, or technically Black Friday is considered the official start of Christmas season, even though I'm sure you realize Christmas decor and Christmas stuff has been selling for 2 months already. It came out middle of October this year. You know, usually, I remember as a kid, the giant Christmas displays and the big deals and stuff, nothing of it was shown to the public until the day after Thanksgiving, technically Black Friday. We used to go down to Chicago as a kid because that's where I grew up, in that area. So, you know, you go down to like Michigan Avenue and things like that, and man, the amount of time and effort they put into those displays is unbelievable. So, all right, now the only thing we have left to do, well, not the only thing we have left to cut is the cheese. So we're gonna open this up. Okay. I have never used this brand of cheese before. I wanted to try it because it's a local Wisconsin company, and oh, that cheese smells fantastic. The smoked provolone, holy cow. This really smells awesome. Okay, there we go. So, we're gonna do this side down. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna cut it into relatively small chunks, just like you did the peppers, because you don't want it to be overpowering. And especially when I'm smelling this, I'm thinking this is gonna have some really, you know something, I should do that. See how this is gonna come out. Okay. This is really good. I don't think it's going to be overpowering at all. So I'm going to cut this up first before I go any farther. Same concept. This is the size you're looking for, right around here. We'll just keep doing this here. Okay. So anywho's, if you are getting ready to start doing your Christmas shopping, remember, I'm looking for a cookware sponsor. So you could become a sponsor for Christmas. How's that? You could be my cookware sponsor, and I can finally get some new pots and pans. Well, I'm not too worried about the pots. It's mostly the pans. I would like to get a good cast iron set, and I need a good omelet pan, and you know, the pan that I do a lot of the cooking in that has the lid on it. It's a big, huge 12-inch skillet. I bought the ceramic one that is supposed to last virtually forever. Does not. I've had it for probably 4 years, so I guess, you know, it lasts longer than most of the Teflon coated ones did, because the Teflon starts to come off. So in earlier shows, I had talked about maybe trying the copper, because if you go to like a French kitchen, they cook everything in copper, and copper is awesome for adding flavor to food. And the problem is the copper non-stick cookware that they sell is all made in China, and sorry folks, it's crap. So I've talked to multiple people, including my brother and my father, who were, you know, thought it was awesome and they bought it. It worked fine the first 2 times. By the 3rd time, things started sticking. By the 5th time, it was completely useless. So I remember when I had the restaurant, I believe it's pronounced Kelfalon, was the good stuff that you'd buy, but you know, those pans are incredibly expensive, at least for the good ones. A good set of them is, you know, $1,000. So I don't expect any. Now I'm having a brain fart. Sponsors, for personal sponsors, to fork out that kind of dough. You know, if you've got a business and you can afford that, trust me, you'll get some serious plugs Plus, you'll get an opportunity to be on the show if you want, if you're local. Well, technically, even if you're not local, I actually was thinking about trying something because I have a friend in Belgium who is obviously, well, he's English and Belgium and Dutch. So, but he cooks also. So if we can do, not necessarily Skype, but the program that I use for What Happened in the World Today is called Zoom. If we did that, we could talk to each other, look at each other, and I can teach him how to cook. He can teach me how to cook. That's an interesting thought. I think I'm going to try that. Okay, now you're just going to want to mix all this up. Make sure the cheese pieces get separated because when you cut them, they were all stuck together. Okay. One of the advantages to the normal Italian dressing with the vinegar and oil is the oil helps coat everything and keep it from sticking. So I'm taking a gamble that the vinaigrette will work also. Because like I said, I'm really not a huge fan of vinegar and oil. It's just not my thing. All right, almost got most of these open. Mix them up a little bit more, see if you can find any more bigger chunks. Yep, here's one. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to the sink here, go to cold water, because you want these noodles to cool off, and we don't want them all stuck together. So, I'm going to put cold water on these and mix them up. These feel really nice. They're not soggy, but they're not hard. This is a good feel on these. Okay. Shake off the excess water. Noodles are room temperature, which is perfect. Pour them right on top. Okay. Now, this is a 16-ounce bottle of vinaigrette. You're going to use about half the bottle in here. And then every time you serve it, because obviously this is going to be more than one serving, every time you serve it, you add a little bit more because it will get absorbed. Okay. There's half a bottle. And we're going to mix it up some more. How does this look? Doesn't this look awesome? Okay. Let's rinse off the fingers. And grab a fork here. Oh, I like this. All right, folks, it's a winner. All right, like I said before, don't forget Piggy, Steinberg's Piggly Wiggly, 4 locations, Delavan, Lake Geneva, 2 in Kenosha. Shop the Pig. They're nice people. They take care of their people. They're not big corporate entity. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Pass this on. Really, please pass this on. We're getting more people. It's really cool. In the past 3 months, even though I'm not doing a lot of shows, I've picked up another 40 viewers. Pretty awesome. I just wish, we need to get to that 1,000, and that's the key. We need 1,000 people. So especially if you're huge on social media, pass this on. If you know Ellen, pass this on to Ellen. Simply because I want to cook for her anyway. All right? So I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Funguy the Entertainer, cooking for you.